my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
So let us pray. Let us close our eyes and go within and honor the power, the presence, the infinite love and wisdom that is God, knowing that God is breathing in and through us right now, expressing as us, and that God is truly our source. We are grateful for all of our blessings. We are grateful for our time together, for the love that brings us together. And we see all people blessed, enfolded in the love and the light of God. And for all of this, we say thank you, God, amen.
Good morning. Welcome to Unity of the Valley Spiritual Center. My name is Gary Eisenberg. It is my pleasure to be your platform assistant for this Sunday. If you're watching at home, welcome too, because this Sunday is a Sunday worship smothered in gratitude gravy. It is. Our gratitude just abounds. We are so grateful to be in this wonderful, beautiful, air-cooled sanctuary. Yes. We're grateful for a sound system that told us it's going to try its very best today to operate without too many glitches. So thank you, God, for our wonderful sound system. We are grateful for our very special musical guest, Marshall McKittrick. And as always, we are so grateful for Reverend Dalia Adams. Yes. If you are here for the first time, welcome. We are so glad to have you with us today. We'd like to get to know you a little bit better, so let's meet after the service in our social hall. And you can ask any one of us, especially those people who remember to put on their name tags, any questions you might have about Unity and our spiritual center here. It is time to recognize people who have made the commitment to go deeper into their spiritual journey. And those are our prayer chaplains. So prayer chaplains, if you will stand, we'd love to recognize you. Prayer chaplains are here to pray with you after service if you have any challenge or healing need. I prayed with Warren Spaeth about a healing challenge I was having last Sunday, and let me tell you, it worked. It worked. It worked. So thank you, Prayer Chaplain Warren. Thank you, Prayer Chaplain Donovan, for being with us. You do bless us with your presence. Thank you so much. It is time to light our Christ candle, and one of my favorite Christ candles. Libya's going to come up and light the candle, and as she does, I invite all the students and teachers to come up to join us in this very sacred ceremony. So teachers and students, if you would come up and join us, and we got a very sacred thing to do this morning. Because in lighting this candle, you remind us all of who we truly are, that light-filled, love-filled, spirit divine. And as Marshall's going to sing in just a minute, it's not a little light, it's a big, bright light that we all have within us that shines out in the world. And we share our light and love with everyone we meet. And we do have a very special blessing for you, my dear, and for all the teachers and students. Together we say to them, you are beautiful children of God, perfect in every way. You are loved unconditionally, just the way you are. And if it's true for you, then it has to be true for ourselves as well. So we really take this in now as we say, I am a beautiful child of God, perfect in every way. I am loved unconditionally, just the way I am. And Marshall is going to sing to us a little bit, and then you guys are going to have a delightful Sunday school experience.
This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. This bright light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine all around the world. I'm gonna let it shine all around the world. I'm gonna let it shine all around the world. I'm gonna let it shine, let it shine, let it shine, let it shine.
So the gratitude just continues. We are so grateful for these wonderful mobile devices that we have that keeps us in contact with friends and family. But we're not going to do that now, are we? We're going to silence them, put them on vibrate. Thank you. And I would like to invite Sandy Oski to talk to us about some thoughts she has about fall reflections. Thank you, Sandy.
Well, today is the second Sunday of the Fall Reflections program, and the theme this week is love. And there is a quote in the book that says, "Love is the way I walk in gratitude." It's a quote from A Course in Miracles. Today, I want to share with you a love story. May not be the story that you're thinking of, but it's about one person who's been dear to me, who made a lot of sacrifices that summer, she ended up applying her nursing skills to care for her father, who was dying of cancer. Following that, she nursed again for a little while, and she thought, I think I would like to do something other than nursing. I would like to go back to school. And she got her bachelor's degree. She worked on her bachelor's degree in outdoor education, which she was very well suited for. Before she finished, she had one more year to go. Her mother passed away, and of cancer again. In her mother's will, her mother specified that she wanted to be sure that Gemma finished her last year before taking care of her siblings. Gemma was the oldest of 8 children. She was still in her 20s, I believe, when this happened. And so she finished her degree and became an instant mother to the 3 youngest children. There was Tim, who was going into his senior year of high school, Mary Kay going into her junior year, and then there was Jim, the youngest, who was going into 4th or 5th grade. So here she is, a young woman with 2 teenagers, and then a young one who has still a ways to go. However, Gemma embraced this new role with total love in caring for her family. It was hard on all the siblings, and so Gemma did the things to continue what Mom had done before. Gemma, to this day, still bakes the traditional pastries and so on at Christmas time that her mother did. She does those little things that help the kids to get by. She has put aside her own personal choices of marriage and having a family of her own in order to care for a family that was already created. So Gemma, in addition to keeping up holiday traditions, she sat at 3 high school graduations. She sat in the mother's pew during the 2 teenagers' wedding ceremony. She became a definite stand-in for that mother. Did her siblings appreciate it? I found out when I visited Gemma, she was working and living in Portland, and in her bedroom was a plaque on the wall, and the words were very clear from those 7 other kids that expressed their love and total gratitude for her filling this role as mom and continuing that family wholeness. It caused me to really get very choked up when I read that. And so, to me, in this total self-sacrificing chunk of time that she spent, she, to me, embodies the concept of love.
A real quick Gemma epilogue, that the Women of Unity years ago went to a retreat where Gemma was, and Gemma taught them the song, "Thank You God for Our Wonderful Food." And Polly came home and taught me that, and I needed an opening song that I wanted to use with my public school students, and so thanks to Gemma, I came up with the tune, "I'm so glad to be here today. I'm so glad, I've just got to say that I'm joyful, that I'm loving, that I'm ready to win. Let the day begin." And that's thanks to Gemma. And I'm so grateful that I got to travel the country teaching that song to thousands of teachers around this country. I taught them that song. And those teachers have multiple kids and So Gemma's a thing of love just ripples. And I think that's just the way it's supposed to work. So thank you, Sandy. Thank you, Gemma. Well, in a very rare edition of the Bible, it says that when one or more are gathered in his name, there will be announcements. And that is so true. So here we go. I'd like to welcome Marshall McKittrick again. You're looking at the cover of one of his CDs, In the Circle. Marshall is a vocalist, guitarist, and songwriter. Being Meadowlark Spirit at heart, his spiritual journey includes yoga, human potential movement, working with the masculine. Singing is a passion. His style is nourished by roots that run deep in folk, rock, pop, blues, country, jazz, world music, spiritual, and children's music. He has performed solo in a variety of venues as well as with various other musicians. He is also an expressive poet. Marshall loves to sing, lead, and backup vocals, play rhythm and finger-picking style guitar, and he enjoys playing keyboard and whistling. In the summer of 2018, Marshall McKittrick released his second studio album, In the Circle, that we're looking at now, which is available in the Great Hall after service. I'm welcome. Thank you for being here. You're doing it for me, thank you. Unity in the Community Social Act invite you to volunteer opportunities that we have in the Great Hall. See Bob Hanser. See Bob Hanser for details after service. Also, Bob, thanks to Bob, so grateful to Bob Hanser that he came up with these new t-shirts that say Unity in the Community, and they're available for the most reasonable price of $10 for us to wear at events like the Alzheimer's Walk, and they can also be worn in other events that Unity participates in the community. Wonderful idea. The Fall Reflection Program is entering its second week. I believe we have new, improved, color-filled booklets for you to pick up. If you are not signed up for a small group, there is still time to do it today. This small group will change your life for the better. So if you're not in a small group, I really recommend that you think about looking at the small groups available and signing up one after service. Now, I know you have busy lives and maybe you just don't have time for a small group. Well, here's another opportunity that will deepen your experience of our Fall Reflection Program this year. It's called Living Gratitude Retreat, led by Reverend Dalia Adams. Will be Saturday, October 6th from 10 to 2:30 here. This retreat is a complement to our small group study guide. Sign up is available in the Great Hall. Please bring a sack lunch, and the love offering is suggested at $35, but no one will be turned away. So another way to experience the wonder, the beauty of gratitude in our Fall Reflections program. It is time for our greeting time for one another. And as a service assistant, as Carolyn Ranch will tell you, it is one of our favorite times. And we do it by either giving a sacred hug or putting our hands together with a namaste or a handshake or whatever way you are comfortable in greeting one another. And then it will be my challenge to bring you back where you find yourself right now. So let us listen to Marshall and then begin to greet.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. 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 I am so blessed.
And as you do your final greeting, I do invite you to come back to your pew. And I do promise you that after service, there will be more gratitude gravy available in the social hall. So if you can hear my voice, you are making your way back to your pew, giving your last hug, your last namaste, your last handshake. It feels so good. It really starts our week off in the right direction. Each hug, each handshake, each namaste just fills us with the gratitude of our fellowship. Many of us consider our spiritual center our extended family. And if you're watching at home, we give you a virtual hug and namaste, and so glad that you're with us too. And when you are able, we so invite you to come join us and experience this lovely hug time. you'll be glad you did. So I invite you to take a breath and just center in now. And in our gratitude for God, we experience this truth in every moment of our lives together. There's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, God the good.
Morning. Having fun up on stage here. This one's on my new album. You've already heard about it, so I won't talk anymore about it. This is called You Have Come Here for a Reason. You have come here for a reason, to a place where you belong. You are the light that shines from the heavens, and the earth is now your home. And your love has made the difference in the lives of those who care. When you share your love with others, you're the light that shines from above. When you share your love with others, you're the light that shines from above. Free your heart, and from the start, you will be surprised. Speak your mind, and you will find Spirit will open your eyes, and your love will make the difference in the lives of those who care. When you share your love with others, you're the light that shines from above. When you share your love with others, you're the light that shines from above. We have come here for a reason, yes, to a place where we belong. We are the light that shines from the heavens, and the earth is now our home. And our love has made the difference in the lives of those who care. When we share our love with others, we are the light that shines from above. When we share our love with others, we are the light that shines from above. 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 Shines. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was beautiful. I forgot my gizmo. What a wonderful thing this is. I point it up in the air and the slides move. It's kind of neat. So today we are in our second week of the fall program. That is the color red in the background. It really is. I love technology. This is a fall reflections program that is using the book Attitudes of Gratitude as a guidepost through the 7 weeks. MJ Ryan is the author of the book. She will be here November 4th. Everyone say yay. Yay. Everyone say I'll be there. She's not only going to do both services that day, she will do a workshop for us, and I think that's so wonderful. It's such a blessing to spend 7 weeks delving into her book and then getting to meet her and getting to hear her way of understanding gratitude. So this is the week for red, and that background is also red. It's the color with the most personal meanings, and these are the things that are true about the color red, and I know they're true because once again they're from Google, and so it is the color with the most personal meanings. It is the color linked to our will to survive. That's a very powerful, thing to be linked to. It's the color of passion, love, and courage, the color of life. So it's not for wimps. It's a color for those who are brave and courageous and willing to open their hearts, willing to take those chances to live fully. So it's a good color. So as you walk around today, that's what you're representing with your red outfits. For the second week, we are focusing on chapter 2 in the book from pages 15 to pages 53. And I know this was said before, but I'll do it again. If you haven't picked up the new version of the booklet, please do so. If you haven't signed up for a group, it's an opportunity for a wonderful experience. Everyone who's been in those groups and has participated tells me it's probably the best part of the year. Today's the last day for sign up. Whether or not you're in a group, pick up a booklet because you can see what the discussion questions are. There's quotes, there's gratitude statements, and toward the beginning there's this page that tells you what's coming in the weeks ahead. This bar across the top puts all of the colors in sequence so you know what color is coming up. And so to pick up a booklet one way or the other and allow that to be part of your experience. The 2 books that are up there are really the same book. There are 2 different covers. On the left is the old version, and then the newest edition got a different cover. So both covers work. If your book looks different from the graphics we're putting up, it's just a different edition. So today we're going to be focusing on the gift of an open heart. In Buddhist philosophy, they talk about how all life, all of creation, goes through a rhythmic expansion and then contraction. There's this rhythm that we go through, and it's normal and it's healthy, and it is ours to allow that expansiveness and then the coming back inward, to notice it, to be aware of it, to allow it, and not to get stuck in it. And unfortunately, especially when we go into a phase of contraction, when we draw inward, in some circumstances we have a tendency to get stuck. We close our hearts, we get all tight, we get rigid, we get dogmatic and perfectionistic and we're tight and we're not opening to life. We're not allowing our hearts to open. So gratitude and the many gifts that it brings is a pathway to this opening of the heart so that we can live fully, so that we can live joyously, so that we can be all that we can be. In the second chapter, before we get there was an audio program I was listening to, so this is not an exact quote, but I try to write it down as well as I could remember. And the narrator said the art of living doesn't always come naturally to people. We need to be intentional in developing it. And so the art of living is to be able to move through these periods of contraction and expansion and just allow it to be the movement of life through us. The art of living is being able to move through difficult times, knowing that they pass and reaching for the good that is to come. The art of living is being able to love ourselves and those around us. The art of living is being able to honor our difficult moments, the pain that we sometimes feel, and love ourselves knowing that it's not the truth of our being. The art of living is the art of not getting stuck in the stuff. I don't know if anybody's ever gotten stuck in the stuff. Yeah, I have. And it's not a good place to be. So gratitude is a pathway to developing this art of living. Well, so much for my bragging about the gizmo, huh? Paul, or Don, can you move it? Okay. So chapter 2 is focused on the gifts of gratitude, and she lists a long list, and I just picked a few of them. One of the gifts of gratitude is that it reduces worry or anxiety. And worry or anxiety is always focused on the future. It's the what if. What if the technology doesn't work? What if the gizmo stops working? What if the microphone starts yelling? What if? Or what if so-and-so is still mad at me next time I see him? Or what if they're still in a bad mood? What if the car doesn't work? What if I can't afford next month's bills? What if there's not enough? What if I can't do enough? What if I'm not good enough? What if I'm not up to the... Do you know those what ifs? Maybe you've never experienced them, but it might be your neighbors have, and they talk to you about it, right? Anxiety, worry is always that stuff, that threatening stuff that we imagine in our futures. And when we're in that state of worry, if someone says, stop worrying, how many people are successful in stopping to worry? It doesn't work that way. But if in that moment when we're feeling overwhelmed by this worry, if we pause for a moment and say or ask ourselves, what is it in this moment that I can be grateful for? I'm not asking you what is it in all these things you're worrying about that you're grateful for, but what is it in this moment, given all those worries that are out there, what is it right here, right now, that you can be grateful for? Sometimes it's a pet, a dog, a cat, a bird. Sometimes it's a family member. Sometimes it's the fact that you have a home. Or sometimes it's this community, this church. I've had people say that to me, that they're grateful for this community and the love that is here. So if in those moments when that worry seems overwhelming, we pause and just focus on that for which we are grateful, something happens. Our hearts open, the person out there insists on doing things that we know they shouldn't do. Resentment is that stuff that gets stuck inside of us when that person out there won't pay attention to what we're saying and won't do things the way we want them to, right? Has anybody ever experienced resentment in the face of that person? How many people know that person? Yeah. And what happens is we're the ones that close up and get stuck. It's our hearts that close. It's our backs that start aching. We are the ones that get the headaches, right? Or the insomnia, or whatever else we bring with this resentment. So the same process is with worry. If you just tell yourself to stop resenting that person, usually nothing much happens. But if for a moment you can stop and ask yourself, what is it in this moment that I am grateful for? Again, when we think of those things that we appreciate, that we value, our hearts open up again. There's a softening of the resentment, a softening of how we feel, and it's a very different experience. M.J. Ryan also says that it cures perfectionism. It's kind of an odd one, right? But when you think about what perfectionism is it's an attempt to make something match totally to an image in our heads of how we think it has to be. I mean, the truth of it is we are all perfect just the way we are. You know, just like a child growing up who is stumbling as they learn to walk, they're perfect. Just because they're not walking yet doesn't make them perfect. Just because we have things to learn and grow into doesn't make us not perfect, right? So we're perfect just the way we are, but perfectionism is something else. We have this image in our head that we need to look a certain way, we need to dress a certain way, we need to clean the house a certain way, we need to complete the project a certain way. And if it's not exactly a match for this image in our heads, then it becomes a source of stress and agitation, and we have to try harder to make it all fit together. And that's the perfectionism. And what it's really about, it comes from a place of not trusting that we are enough, that we are good enough just the way we are, that we can trust our world to unfold in divine order. And when we don't trust in our own goodness and the goodness of what is unfolding, we have to control it and make it perfect according to our image of perfect. And boy, that feels miserable. You know, in the 12-step recovery programs, they usually ask, would you rather be right or would you rather be happy? Most people say they'd rather be happy, and it helps shift out of that perfectionism. Again, just like with the other two, if we pause in the midst of all of that and notice what we are grateful for in this moment, and focus our attention there, we soften, our hearts open, and it no longer is so intensely important to have our image of perfection manifested. M.J. Ryan goes on to say that another gift of gratitude is the way it keeps us in the now moment. In every one of those situations, when we focus on what is it that I'm grateful for right now, I am returning to the now moment. And we all know that it's in the now moment that we find the truth of who we are. It is in the now moment that we find the presence of God. It is in the now moment that we find our joy. So it keeps us in the now moment was taught that gratitude was a virtue. Saying thank you was a good thing. So when I would remember to say thank you, and when I would remember to write the note, I would feel like a good person because I did my gratitude stuff right. What I learned later on is, yes, it might be a virtue, but what it really is a gift to me. Because when I live in that gratitude, my heart soars. There is joy. There are possibilities. There is a smile that comes up. So it's so much more about gifting myself with a new way of being. M.J. Ryan says, though, this open-heartedness that gratitude brings really takes courage. It takes courage because it means you stay in that now. You stay in that trusting that divine order is unfolding. You stay in that believing that no matter how things might look, I am enough and I am good enough. It can be hard to keep our hearts open when the tough stuff comes. You know, in those really difficult days when people are doing things that feel very hurtful, or when we're disappointed, or when we're lonely, or when we're scared, it can be hard to keep our hearts open. But if we use gratitude as a stepping stone, we can do it. And life is so much more powerful and meaningful, and we're so much more present for our lives when we do. There's a young man, a very young man, named Brian Doyle, who had an experience in his life that plunged him into a gratitude practice. He was almost killed. He was driving at night. He was the driver. He had a friend as a passenger, and there was an oncoming car in the other lane that kept flashing its lights at him, and he couldn't figure out what that was about. And in a few seconds, he saw what it was. There was a car in his lane barreling at him out of control at a very, very high speed. Okay. And so it was just like a split second. He veered off the road and they didn't collide. But he was left with this profound sense that I almost died. And when you're 18 years old, 17 years old, that's a very profound experience, that knowing my own mortality. And he said for the next several days he reflected on, what did he do that morning? Did he tell his mother, I love you, as he walked out the door? Or did he just ignore her the way he often does? Was he being kind to his friends? Was he appreciating them? Or was he taking his life for granted? And he reflected on this for many months because of how profoundly it impacted him, knowing that his life almost ended. And several months after that, it was Thanksgiving, and he had this idea that he could begin a gratitude practice and see if it would make a difference. So at that point, I'm going to let him take over.
It's about it. And I said that I had this idea where for the next 365 days, I was going to try and say thank you to one person every single day with no repeats. I would either call them up or I would sit down with them in person. And I would tell them thank you for the meaning that they've had in my life, for the impact that they had made. And at the end of the day, I would write a blog post about them. First, speaking to their individuality, and then thanking them again for all that they had done. Now, at the time, it was just an idea, and I had absolutely no clue where this would take me. But I went for it. So I started the next day. The first person I thanked was my best friend in a coffee shop in New York City, and it felt so different, but it was so much fun at the same time. Nonetheless, boom, one down, 364 to go. Now, as I continued, I thanked different high school teachers. I thanked different mentors in my life, artists, friends, and before I knew it, I found myself at number 170, my dad. Now, I knew I wanted to thank him in person, so I waited until I flew home from school. And on my first day back, I found myself with him on the golf course, a place we hadn't been together in years. And as the day went on, I kept trying to find him alone, but it was tough, and I was nervous. So nervous, in fact, that when I finally had him sitting alone on a bench, waiting for the couple in front of us to play, I could literally feel my heart pounding in my chest. And I remember thinking to myself, why? All you're doing is saying thank you to him. That's literally it. But this was new. This was different. I had never, in my entire life, just sat down with my dad only to say thank you. Never. Now, as I finally started the conversation, I thanked him for everything. I thanked him for the lessons I had learned from him, and for the adventures we'd been on together, and for the foods that he's made me try, reluctantly, and for the times when he'd pull me back on a walk and say, Brian, come here. Look at the way the sunlight is hitting that cloud right now. Isn't that gorgeous? I thanked him for how he's helped develop me into who I am today. His reaction was humble, and yet we would embark on a 2-hour conversation about our relationship, and ever since, I feel like something has been unlocked. I felt like I've been more open with him, and I felt happier. I felt like I had released this secret that I've kept hidden forever. And yes, I'm gay, and he's known that for years. But for some reason, voicing my appreciation to him was more nerve-wracking and more stressful than coming out to my own father as gay. Why is that? All I was doing was saying thank you to him. That's it. Again, it's because I had never done this. It was foreign to me. And yet, ever since, our bond has grown so much stronger, more tangible, much more real. Now, I pushed Fawn forward, and I thanked my kindergarten teacher, I thanked my high school soccer coach, I thanked other friends of mine, and I found myself at number 249. I was back here in San Diego for a few weeks over the summer, and on the drive home that day, I pulled over to the side of the road to take a phone call from my friend Kayla back in D.C. And as I was on the phone with her, I was looking through the window of my car, and I could see this guy walking with his mom. And as he got about parallel to my car, I realized that, oh, that was David. Now, David was this kid who I had gone to elementary school with. And truthfully, I'd never said more than 10 words to him growing up, and neither him to me. But I noticed him. You see, David has Asperger's syndrome. And growing up, he was bullied. A lot. And I was always amazed at how he would just let the comments roll off his back. How he would keep his head held high through it all. And I realized how much I learned from him. I learned how to be proud of who I am. I learned how to be confident. I learned how to have a thick skin. And as I was remembering all of this, it just clicked. And I literally dropped the phone with Kayla still on the line, and I rolled down the window, and I yelled across the street, David, can you come here for a second? I want to tell you something. As he came over, I reminded him who I was, and I thanked him right there through the window for the influence that he's had in my life. And as I was doing that, his mom, who was standing just a few steps back, with her hands over her face, I could tell that she was crying. And that's when I realized that maybe David has never heard this before. Think about that. You see, people don't know we appreciate them unless we show it, unless we verbalize it. We hope they do, and we think that they know, and we assume that they know. But they honestly just don't unless we tell them. Now, as I've continued, this has become more than just a project. It's become a way of life for me. It's become natural. Truth be told, I honestly cannot remember what it feels like to not say thank you to someone like this every single day. I wake up every morning, and the first thing I think is, who am I going to say thank you to today? And for what? Instead of, man, this class is going to suck. And then I spend the rest of my day looking for the good. And honestly, it is absolutely everywhere.
Amazing for a young man, right? Such wisdom. Could you feel the courage that it took for him to do this? Could you just feel how his heart opened as he was doing it? And how much more meaningful his life was becoming as he was doing it? So I have a question, or maybe it's a challenge. Are you willing to adopt his practice for the remainder of our Fall Reflections program? We're talking 6 weeks now. And 6 weeks of every day telling somebody thank you. How many people are willing to take that on? Yeah. And see if we don't find some of the same changes within us that this young man discovered. I'd like to end with something that Melody Beatty said. She said, gratitude turns what we have into enough and more. It turns denial into acceptance, chaos into order, confusion into clarity. It makes makes sense of our past, brings peace for today, and creates a vision for tomorrow. Namaste.
When I pray, I feel my heart open into my God. When I pray, I feel my heart open into my God. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. Right here, right now, right where I am, I pray. When I pray, I feel my heart open into my God.
Right here and right now, I pray. I turn to the presence of God within me. I allow my heart to open, and I pray. Letting each breath be a prayer as we move deeper into this time of meditation. Letting each prayer be a thank you, God, for this life, for this breath, for this moment, and join with me in saying, thank you, God. Thank you, God. Amen.
Every day is a brand new day. This is called brand new day. Wake up slow, breathe the day. Open my eyes and my mouth to pray. Walk outside, greet the day. Keep looking out, 'cause it's a brand new day, brand new day. Yeah, come what may. Yeah, make it real, fresh new start. Take the time to connect and live your heart. Don't you care what they say? Just know the truth, 'cause it's a brand new day, brand new day. Yeah, come what may. Yeah. And when you wonder who you are, can't seem to make it all be clear. Let it go, give it up, unwind your mind, get unstuck, open your heart, 'cause it's a brand new day. 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 And when you wonder who you are, can't seem to make it all be clear. Let it go, give it up, unwind your mind, get unstuck, open your heart, 'cause it's a brand new day. Anytime you feel low, fix your gaze and let your deeper power flow. Tap the source, let it play. Just shake it off, 'cause it's a brand new day. Brand new day, yeah. Come what may, yeah. Brand new day. Brand new day. Brand new day. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Wonderful. As our ushers come forward, it's time to take out our tithes and love offerings. And at home, if you've been spiritually moved by today's service or services in the past, we invite you to click on that donate button. You'll be glad you did. So we say together, God's love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am and have, all that I give and receive. I am grateful. Thank you.
Let there be peace on earth. Okay, that's the wrong time. We're not ready. Okay.
commercial. Reverend Dalia, thank you so much for that wonderful talk today. I'm going to accept your challenge. And my first thank you goes to the individuals in our sound booth who move the slides, who take care of the sound. You guys do a fantastic job, so thank you. Let's give them a round of applause. And if you've accepted the challenge as you walk by, say thank you, Don, thank you, Paul, for making this such a special Sunday today. So again, thank you, gentlemen, for your hard labor. I really appreciate it. Well, as we affirm our divine substance, we know that the inexhaustible resource of spirit is equal to every demand. There is no reality in lack. Our abundance is here and now manifest. And so it is. Thank you, God. Amen. Now it is time for our peace song. Let us stand and join together.
And let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as creator, family all agreed. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Now peace begins with me. Yes, this is the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Now there is peace on earth, and yes, it begins with me.
And we are grateful. Amen.